So what's the state of Lego investing here in the year 2023? Let's talk about it. You ready? Let's go. So we just wrapped up 2022 and it looks like most, if not all, of the Lego sets that were retiring at the end of the year are all but out of stock at most retailers. There's still a few stragglers out there that are lingering on Barnes & Noble and a couple deep retailers like Macy's and Scheels. But for the most part on Lego.com, Amazon, Target, and Walmart, the majority of the sets that retired at the end of 2022 are no longer in stock, and we're starting to see some of those sets increase in price for the initial post-retirement price jump. This happens every single year after a different wave of sets retire. Sometimes those sets come back in stock because, like last year, there was inventory challenges, there was distribution issues, and so some of the sets that had retired that we thought were completely out of stock came back for several months. I don't anticipate that to happen this year because it seems like the majority of the stock of the sets that retired at the end of 2022 dried up around Black Friday and shortly thereafter. Which means some of the sets that retired at the end of the year actually have less inventory on the secondary market than I originally anticipated. Some sets like the Batwing and the Disney Castle, I were hoping were going to get large discounts on Lego.com. If you're on Lego.com here in the US right now, you can see that those sets are currently marked at 20% off. But I don't think anyone was able to pick them up for those prices online. Maybe you were one of the lucky ones that was able to find one in your local Lego store, but for the majority of us, those prices were just designed to clear out the remaining inventory on Lego.com, which I don't think there was any, and the remaining inventory in a brick and mortar Lego store. But if you're like me, you are all but done investing in Lego sets from the year 2022. So that leaves us with this question: where are we at when it comes to Lego investing in the year 2023? I think there's a few factors here in the year 2023 that are going to affect Lego investing, some for the positive and some for the negative. In the year 2022, for the first time that I've been in the Lego investing experience, I've been in this now for about 8 years, for the first time I saw Lego do a complete price increase across the board. Now, they didn't increase the price of every single Lego set, but their claims for inflation and demand and a few other factors saw many sets jump as high as $70 in a price increase or as low as $5 or $10. I think that has a pretty significant impact on Lego investing going forward. Now, I don't anticipate us to have another inflation price jump on a majority of Lego sets here in the near future. You never know. I don't know where the economy is headed globally or where it's headed here specifically in the US, but I don't think we are going to see another one of those, broad strokes price increases anytime soon. But because that happened, I think it limited the investing potential on some of the more expensive sets. So let's take this set for example. So here we've got the 71043 Hogwarts Castle, one of the most amazing Lego sets that's ever been produced. Originally, the MSRP upon release was $400 for this Lego set. In 2022, it got a price increase of $70. Now, this is not speculated to retire this year. I actually imagine this set might be on the market for 7, 8, 9, maybe even 10 years. It's so iconic. It's an incredible build. Similar to the UCS Falcon, which I think is going to be on the market indefinitely. I imagine Lego might keep this on the market for a long time. But let's still talk about the set for investing potential or other sets that received a significant price increase. So the buy-in on this originally was $400. Let's say it's scheduled to retire in 2024. And if you were to pick this up for $400, I could see this set because of how collectible it is. It's part of the Harry Potter line. It's the largest Harry Potter set that's ever been produced. I would imagine it has the potential to get up to the $700, $800, $900 range. Examples being like the Ghostbusters Firehouse, some of the larger creator expert cars, the Technic Porsche. It's not out of the question for a Lego set to get to the $1,000 range, but this set, because of how iconic it was, I anticipated to be able to get to that spot. Now the buy-in is higher now. So we're at like $480, $470 to buy this set today. Here's what that does. The reason I think it actually helps investing is I think because the dollar buy-in increased so much higher that investors and collectors don't have the chance to buy it. So if it priced out of your range of your ability to purchase because of the price increase, there's going to be less on the market maybe towards the end of its shelf life. So it could actually reduce the amount of inventory that we find on the secondary market at the end of its life. Now, what it did do is it made it so that potentially your return on investment is much less. So this one I actually bought in 2021. So I bought this one for $400. Actually, I think it was on sale on Zavi.com for $360. So $360 I picked this up. I could actually probably sell it today and make a profit, which is pretty awesome when something like inflation takes over Lego. If you had sets previously prior to the price increase, you might be able to make a buck or two. I'm hoping to either build this one or hold it for long-term investment, but I've already made money on it, which is really awesome. If you're buying this set for investing today, you're spending $470, hoping that just for you to break even selling this set on eBay, including shipping and fees, you're going to have to be selling it for around $600, which is a pretty significant price increase, and there's a very limited market of Lego collectors that can actually afford a $600, $700, and $800 Lego set. So the price increase could do one of two things. It could help this set for investment, or it could hurt it. I'm not quite sure yet. I don't think the price increase for Lego across the board is going to help the investing experience necessarily, because I think it's going to begin to price out collectors for the larger Lego sets as they appreciate post-retirement on the secondary market. Another thing we need to talk about here in 2023 is I'm going to put quotations in this, the recession. I'm not a finance guru. I don't read a ton of articles on finance, but if you've heard rumblings, there's thoughts that we may be headed towards or are currently in some version of an economic recession. Is it going to be extreme as the year 2006, 2007, 2008? I'm not sure. I can't speak to that. Again, I only really talk about Lego investing, but I think the economic factors that we are in do play into whether Lego investing will be successful in 2023, 2024, and beyond. If we do end up hitting towards some economic downturn, whether that be a significant recession like 2008 or a slight correction or adjustment, that definitely hurts the commodities market specifically. Back in 2008, when the economic recession hit the US and parts of the globe, it was very, very difficult for you to sell off your Pokemon card collection, your Lego sets, your baseball card collection, your comic books. Those type of things significantly reduced in value. I had a specific Michael Jordan collectible card from the Z4 series from 1997. At the time that I bought it, I pulled it out of a pack. It was worth about $100. During the recession, it went down to a value of around $50. That card is now worth anywhere from $500 to $700. So like any sort of economic recession, it does affect the commodities market. That's for one of several reasons. During a recession, people are typically unemployed. They're financially strapped, which means they have less money to spend on luxuries. I would consider a luxury, although often in my life I want to call it a necessity. It is still a luxury, it is still a commodity, it's still a collectible. So collectibles, commodities like that typically take a hit in the recession. So what does that mean for Lego investing? This is just my thoughts. I'm, again, no financial guru, but if we hit a recession into 2023 or 2024, I don't necessarily think it deeply affects the sets that you would buy for investing in 2023. What I think it does do is it could potentially affect your return on investment for the sets that you either bought in 2020, 2021, or 2022. So for example, we're seeing that the initial price jump for the Disney Castle has already jumped by about $150 on the secondary market. MSRP of $350, already up to $500, and this set has the potential to continue to increase in value as long as they don't re-release it. But the only other factor that could play into it is if we hit an economic recession, that initial price jump could actually take a downturn towards the $450, $425, or $400 range if the demand for that specific Lego set decreases dramatically, as people won't be buying higher end Lego sets on the secondary market. Are we headed towards that reality? To be honest, I can't say. Not totally sure. But I think it's something to note that we're not in probably the best financial state as a country or as the globe. Still recovering from the pandemic, overinflation, all of these factors that I know are playing into the state of the economy that we currently live in. So it doesn't mean that Lego investing is impossible. I will say this, back in 2007, 2008, when the economic recession hit, some of the sets that were released during that time frame were some of the best investments you could possibly make. That included the original UCS Falcon, the original, the Taj Mahal that's sitting behind me. The original that released way back when, before they re-released it, had gotten up to $2,000 or $3,000 range. The original UCS Falcon was at like the $7,000 to $8,000 range before they re-released the new one. We had the tall Eiffel Tower that it released during that time frame, which had gotten up to like $1,000, $1,200. Of course, they just re-released that set as well. So we found a ton of the sets back in the original recession here in the United States, those larger dollar sets. No one was buying for investing for a couple reasons. One, no one could afford them. Two, Lego investing wasn't as popular back then, so I will let that be a factor. But over time, as Lego collecting craze grew again, the demand for those sets that had retired during those years increased dramatically, and the prices went skyrocketing on the secondary market. So if we do hit a recession here in 2023, it might be some of the best potential for Lego investing if you can hold on to those sets for 4 and 5 years. It may limit the amount of people that are able to invest because of their current economic situation. Side hustles, I'm sure, will take a significant downturn. The liquid cash you have for Lego investing might take a hit as well if you're someone that's directly impacted by a recession that could potentially happen here in 2023. And the last factor that I'll talk about when it comes to Lego investing here in 2023 is the longevity of shelf life for specific Lego sets. I'm finding it different for the first time in my entire Lego investing experience that Lego is keeping sets on the shelves for much longer than they historically have. The average shelf life for a plain Lego set has been anywhere from 1.5 to 2 years for the last 8 years that I've been doing this. But sets like the Architecture London set, the Architecture New York set, some of these modular buildings are lasting on the market for 4, 5, and 6 years, which is unheard of. I mean, there have been 1 or 2 sets historically. I think the Pet Shop, the Volkswagen T2 camper van, and the Disney Castle were both sets that existed on the market for 5+ years. But now I think we've got 7, maybe 8, 9, or 10 sets that have hit that 5+ year mark. I think the Assembly Square is up to that mark. A few architecture sets are getting close to that mark. We've got several Technic sets that have been on the market for 3 and 4 years. So I'm finding that Lego is actually extending the life of sets, but still increasing the amount of new sets that they are producing. So I think just here in January, 80 brand new sets released on Lego.com. I think it was 100+ the year before, so maybe the reduction is because they're keeping sets on the market for much longer. But here's what I noticed. No modular buildings retired at the end of 2022. Now we have speculation that both the Bookshop and the Assembly Square are supposed to retire here at the end of 2023. That's the early data we have. That could definitely change over the next couple months. So I wouldn't be surprised if 2 modular buildings retire. I wouldn't be surprised if they retire 3 or 4 architecture sets. But for some reason, Lego is being more compelled to keep sets on the market longer. I'm sure that has to do with the production cost and the research and development that it requires to create new Lego sets. Of course, I want there to continue to be a production of new Lego sets for my own collecting hobby and for Lego investing. But I've noticed that as these sets sit on the shelves longer, it significantly reduces their potential return on investment because the supply increases dramatically. The demand reduces because those that join the hobby during that time frame or want to collect a specific series have the chance to buy it at MSRP, and it definitely reduces the return on investment for that set post-retirement. So those are 3 factors that I'm noticing here in 2023 that are significantly or could significantly affect Lego investing. It doesn't mean that they're all bad things. A recession could potentially help Lego investing long term, although could potentially reduce the effectiveness of selling here in the year. So all these factors should be considered. Does it mean that you shouldn't start Lego investing? Definitely not. But it definitely means you need to be careful. You need to make sure you're protected. You need to make sure you're budgeting your investments. If you're using a credit card to invest in Lego, I highly, highly disagree with that method. It should be for those that have gotten to themselves a financial stability in their own personal life and are dabbling in Lego investing. Again, my goal from this channel is not to help anyone get rich from Lego investing. If you do, well done. Let me know in the comments below. My goal from this channel is to help you as a Lego collector like myself fund your building hobby through Lego investing. Thanks for going on this journey with me. If you're interested in any more content like this, feel free to give me a like and a subscribe. Would love to continue to engage with you when we talk about Lego investing, buying, and reselling. As always, y'all, it's Jake from Jake's Bricks signing off. We'll see you guys.